Welcome to the High Value Email for Business Prospecting. I'll warn you up front before we get into this session, this one may not be for everybody. You see, when we think about this idea of a high value email, what that means is that we're going to put in a little bit of extra effort and time to communicate one-to-one. See, when we think about business prospecting, has this ever occurred to you? There's got to be an easier way to sort through this big long list of business owners to figure out who's open to having a conversation. In the high value email for business prospecting, what we're getting ready to do right now, we're going to walk through a system that you can use regardless of what you sell to make it easy for good fit prospects to raise their hand and identify themselves. Yeah, I'm somebody that wants to know more about what it is that you offer. Now, we're going to be coaching using the 3x5 rule, the exact same rule that we talked about in Crush It with Email. What we're going to be doing is crafting a simple message. Because this is going out to business owners, we're going to be talking about a message that's easy to understand. One that gets right to the point. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page, the 3x5 rule, here's exactly what it is. Grab 3 index cards, and we're going to craft a message that's a total of 5 sentences. A message that includes these 3 key parts. Establish credibility, spark curiosity, and number 3, a gracious call to action with a clear next step. I'm going to give you a formula literally that you can use. This is over-the-shoulder training. So we're going to walk through step by step what this high-value email looks like. One of the reasons the 3x5 rule works so well is because we're following a couple of basic guidelines because we've done a little bit of research. You see, in order for your message to have any kind of an impact, it first has to be read. Now, one of the Pew Research findings that came out when they were talking about business emails was this right here. 64% check email on their mobile devices. Now, personally, I think in the world of business, that number's a lot bigger. I probably check maybe 85, 95% of the emails that I get on my phone. I may not reply to them all. Okay, can you relate to this? I may not reply to them all on my phone, but I'm certainly keeping up to date with messages that are coming in on more than an hourly basis. I'm checking to see what I have. Is there anything that I have to deal with? Now, if you've already gone through the course, Crush It with Email, here's one of the things that's going to sound familiar. A lot of emails that are sent are written as though they were a letter, right? With all the standard formatting in place, 3, 4, 5 sentences to a paragraph and a couple of different paragraphs in the email. You know, one that I received, I printed it off and gosh, it was 2.5 pages long. It doesn't necessarily matter what it says. We're not going to dig into that piece. But if we think about this big block of text, and if we think about that statistic that said 64% are reading email on their mobile device, and we crunch that down to fit on a screen, it's just not going to work. The message isn't going to get read. And not necessarily because it's a bad message, but simply because it's too easy to lose your place, right? The font is shrunken down. Multiple sentences inside of a mobile device, it's just too hard to read. So what we want to do with this high value email is we're going to use single short sentence paragraphs. I noticed this, and have you ever thought about that? Now, like I said, the high value email prospecting to businesses is going to require 2 things. So this isn't something that you're going to want to do over and over and over again, right? This is something that you're going to want to do when you have a very defined market. Right? It has to be worth it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about different ways that you can do your homework. And then we're going to talk about the key ingredients of this high value email. You with me? Okay. One of the reasons we do this is it's worth it. Connecting with the right people at the right time in the right way could lead us to a huge opportunity. So like I said, this isn't an email that you want to do for every single person you talk to unless it's going to be worth it, right? If the opportunity's there, then the ends, they justify the means.